Alright, we have a semi-finals match of the Discord Cup with GoblinGuide playing Lion against JDsauce on Scorpion. I'm not sure if you can hear me, so if you're in chat, please let me know. Unfortunately, it seems like JDsauce will not be able to make it to the scheduled time for the semi-finals, so they're playing the game now anyway, because it's better to have a game than not. But yeah, I'm not sure what the situation is going to be if he wins. We see no brawler on turn 1, so no high roll confirmed, unless the Gunso managed to flip one. And then I'm not sure what JDsauce deck is like, but if it's like the recent popular Scorpion decks, he might just buy one character, maybe the Liar, and then pass. So we see the Gunso come out and flip a Miwako Kabe guard. And then JDsauce gets the Liar. Let's see if GoblinGuide wants to steal the pass or play another character here. So we see two more characters, the Gifted Tactician and Miwako Kabe guard come out, and as expected, the Scorpion will pass with just a Liar, banking 8 Fate for shenanigans. Bids are 5 to 5. No surprise, I guess. I think most of the Lion players and all players really have started just bidding 5 on turn 1 to have some cards. And all three of the characters go in on a military fire conflict. So it seems like GoblinGuide is definitely going for breaks. And he's on 5 right now, which will be 8 with the Stronghold. So even with the Fury, Secret Crash would still be breaking. So it seems like he will get his first province break on turn 1. Both the Gunso and the Gifted Tactician have no fate on them, so that's quite an investment. He's essentially paid 4 fate for those two characters to have them 1 turn. It is quite nice to hit the secret cache once and just break it immediately, because yeah, going back into it is really painful with the amazing action on that card. So no defenders, obviously. I wonder if JDsauce wants to play anything. It doesn't really seem worth it. I think he would need 2 cards at least to stop the break after the Lion will use box to give all his attackers +1. And a Yojimbo comes in, so he will defend. So it's 5-3 now, but after the box, it's still 8-3. So he must have some other card, or maybe he just wants to prevent the unopposed. Though he's on 11 honor, so I can't imagine. And a bonsai comes out from Scorpion, followed by using the Imperial Storehouse. So he does choose to commit the Yojimbo plus a bonsai to stop this break. Let's see if GoblinGuide has anything to push him over. I'm sure he plays bonsais as well. So with 10 cards, it should be quite likely that he has one. Putting 2 Fate on the Yojimbo might make it dangerous for JDsauce's Liar to attack later, because if it hits Feast or Famine and it triggers, then those 2 Fate could be moved to the Gonzo or the Tactician, which would be quite disastrous. So JDsauce passes. Let's see if GoblinGuide has anything to get him a break here. No, he passes as well, so it's only a win. Both Miwakabe Guard and Korogunso get honor from Pride. And then he will get the Keeper Initiate because of the firing. That's probably the main reason he went for it. And he chooses to dishonor the Bayushi Liar, which it has 0 glory, so it doesn't matter too much for the Liar. But the Yojimbo is not a courtier, so Forged Edict is currently off. I wonder if we'll see an attack from JDsauce here, because hitting the Feast or Famine would be devastating. Oh, he does attack, and he does hit the Feast or Famine. Let's hope he has some kind of plan for it, so that it doesn't break. Maybe the legendary Fury on your own guy. JDsauce says, "Oh damn, GG" in chat, so I think he doesn't have anything, and the Feast will break, stealing the fate of the Yojimbo. That is a terrible start for him. I suppose it was only 1 in 4 to hit Feast or Famine, but if he can't prevent this break, then it will be a massive swing, stealing 2 Fate. He might have Assassination. I think you can assassinate your own guy if you want to. I'm not sure if that's even allowed. Let me see. Yeah, it just says choose a character with printed cost 2 or lower, so he could assassinate his own liar if he has that option. Oh, and yeah, he has the Fury, so he uses Miyamoto's Fury to bow his Bayushi Liar, which makes it 0-0 and not breaking. JDsauce is commenting that he should have passed the conflict, but it's not as bad as it could have been. If he didn't have the Fury, then that might be game over. It's still painful to have to use a Fate and a very good card on your own character, but at least he knows where Feast or Famine is now, I guess. So that conflict ends 0-0, and now, because he won the firing, GoblinGuide has another attack with Keeper Initiate. It seems like he's going for a new province, which is interesting. Maybe he wants to reveal them as quickly as possible to stop the Miyamoto's Furies from being good. He hits Pilgrimage, so this ring will be negated most likely. Oh, there's a Court Games on his Keeper. Maybe he has a fan as well. So he does get the 5. And now JDsauce is really wishing that he still had that Miyamoto's Fury. Maybe he has another one. Let's find out. Oh, he has a let go for the fan. But there's another fan. So once again breaking. And considering that he had a Court Games and 2 fans, I think it makes a lot of sense to attack a new province, because he knew he could very likely break anything he hit. And yeah, GoblinGuide gets a break on the political attack on Pilgrimage. And that Earthring hits a Forged Edict, so he has to be pretty pleased with how this first turn went. Lion claims the favor as well, which might be important if we see Ujiaki come out. And so at the end of turn 1, Lion is left with a Honored Keeper Initiate with a fan and an Honored Miwaku Kabe guard, while Scorpion has a Yojimbo with 1 Fate. We see Heroic come out, which is a character with an excellent action. It harpoons someone into the conflict, either your own character or normally your opponent's. So we might see him attack with that and drag the Keeper Initiate in, or defend and then harpoon someone, we'll see. GoblinGuide meanwhile gets a Venerable Historian who has action while this character is participating in a conflict. If you are more honorable than your opponent, honor this character, which he should be able to do. He's on 12 to 8 right now, and I can't imagine Scorpion bidding low. No, he might consider doing that just to turn off the Historian. And yeah, it's 4 to 5, resulting in tied honor. So the Historian's currently off. So is the Yogo Outcast though. So Yogo Outcast gets +1/+1 while you are less honorable. So either they are both on or they are both off. And so long as they are tied, they are both off. And a Goblin Sneak comes out from GoblinGuide. I think he's one of few people to play this card. Very appropriate considering his name. And he steals the last fate of JDsauce, so that's kind of the ideal situation where your opponent has one fate left. Maybe JDsauce might have a Miyamoto's Fury or a Meek Informant or any number of cards that cost one fate, and now that the Goblin Sneak stole the fate, he can't play those cards anymore. Looks like the Yojimbo is attacking. I think I would take the Void Ring in his position. It has a fate, and getting that fate off the Historian seems quite good. The other rings with fate are water and air, which are not as great. He could cover the Keeper Initiate and then bow it with water, maybe. Something like that. He covers the Miwaku Kabe card, which is clever because if the keeper wants to defend, then Scorpion's kind of fine by that because this keeper is on 5 political, so it's really a threat if it gets to attack. We hit Manicured Garden, and he does go for the Void Ring, so let's see if GoblinGuide wants to defend. Goblin Sneak goes in on defense, and first action is Gate of Fate from Manicured Garden. Let's see if JDsauce wants to go for a break, or if GoblinGuide has maybe a Bonsai or a Legion of One to defend this. And what I said earlier about the Sneak stealing the last fate is kind of negated by taking the fate off the Void Ring. And we see charge for a favorite niece. So he kind of did need that one fate, but he was able to get it back off a ring regardless of the Sneak. So it's 5 to 1 now. The province is breaking. And it has a Kitsu Spirit Caller on it, which is not that great yet. There's no really powerful cards in the discard pile yet, and there won't be next turn either. But later in the game, the Spirit Caller is really one of the most powerful characters in the Lion arsenal. So GoblinGuide might want to prevent the break just to save the Spirit Caller for later. Plays the Legion of One only once. So with the one fate always being on Goblin Sneak, it's a nice little combo with a Legion of One. He only uses it once though, so he leaves the fate, which makes it 5-4. And JDsauce just uses his favorite niece to cycle some cards. He discards I Can Swim. And we see GoblinGuide's own Fury to bow the unassuming Yojimbo. He does not want to lose this Void Ring. Let's see if JDsauce wants to invest any more cards into this conflict. So long as the honor is tied and this historian doesn't get to honor herself, she's not really that good of a character. It's just a -1. So maybe the Void Ring is not that valuable in this case. And if he loses the conflict, then the Void Ring will still be claimed by GoblinGuide, so he won't be able to take it on attack to void the Yojimbo. Both players pass, so GoblinGuide wins on the defense with a Fury and a Legion of One. We'll see what he wants to do for attacks. Unfortunately, both of the rings with Fate on them, air and water, are not that good for Lion in this situation. He might go Fire to get another Keeper Initiate potentially, and try to dishonor Hiroe. Or otherwise Earth is always a strong ring. Looks like he will go for a new province again, so not allowing the secret cache to trigger again. So he's risking to hit either Shameful or an air province probably. Oh no, the secret cache is air. He does hit the Shameful. So the last one's Meditations probably, which he was hoping to hit. So this is a political conflict, fire into Shameful Display. And I think it makes sense to just defend here and use Shameful Display to honor Hiroe. And then he can also pull in the Miwako Kabe guard so that Lion has no military attack left. He's thinking about it. Hiroe does defend, so I imagine we will see this Shameful Display immediately. Yeah, no reason not to. So now the question is if he wants to pull the Miwako Kabe guard as well, because with the favor that would make it 6-6. So then Lion would be winning. But it does prevent the guard from starting a military conflict later. We see court games to dishonor Hiroe. So now it's 4-4 and Lion is winning anyway. And we see calling in favors to steal Ornate Fan. And the third fan comes out from GoblinGuide. I think it was fair enough of JDsauce not to expect that. And yeah, he says in chat 3 question marks. Yeah, all 3 fans for GoblinGuide, making it 4-4 again. And yeah, 2 court games as well, I think. Yeah. So lots of political cards coming out from the Lion. Let's see if he wants to defend this and win the firing, or if he wants to pull the Miwako Kabe card. We see Wave the Scorpion to dishonor the Keeper Initiate with 2 glories, so that makes it 2-4. GoblinGuide passes, so I imagine JDsauce is going for the win then and is not going to pull anyone. He could bring in the Historian, which would add only 1 skill. Yeah, and he does pull in the Historian. So, because they are tied on Honor 10-10, her action is not active. And so it's only 3-4. And GoblinGuide probably doesn't have any buffs remaining after all 3 of his fans are used, and he already did the court games in his conflict as well. So I think it's quite safe to pull her in and still expect to win this conflict. It does leave Miwako Kabe guard standing, but maybe he's planning to do a water ring with his own attack with the Yoko Outcast. So that way the guard has to either defend or it will get bowed by water. We see strength in numbers attempted to send Hiroi home, but it gets hit by Force Edict of Favorite Niece, and then another Strength in Numbers comes out, so he does go home after all. And Strength in Numbers hits defending characters with Glory X or lower, where X is the number of attackers. So pulling in that Venerable Historian might have been a mistake after all, because without her in the conflict, Strength in Numbers would not be on. They both pass. Shameful Display breaks. Hiroi gets Dishonored from Fire. GoblinGuide gets another Keeper Initiate. And now in turn 2, it's already 2 breaks to 0, which were, interestingly, both political. Thank you, Joe, for pointing that out. We're on full screen now. So 2 provinces broken already, and the Lion still has a military attack. I think this was not the plan at all if you're playing Scorpion. You want to keep them off breaks for as long as possible. He does go for a water conflict with both of his characters at Manicured Garden. So he's now winning but not breaking. And Court Mask comes out to make it breaking. I can't imagine Lion having any more political buffs after we saw so many of them come out. Oh, he assassinates the outcast. That works. He goes down to 7 honor for that, which is still comfortably safe, I think. He will gain 1 at the end of the turn as well. Or, well, he'll gain 1 and lose 1, so I guess he'll stay on 7. And now it's 4 to 3, so Scorpion is winning but not breaking. So at this point, this Water Ring could ready the Yojimbos for defense, which is better than nothing. And he does win. So if I'm GoblinGuide, I'm not sure if I'm attacking. He would have to go either for Secret Cache or... I'm assuming this last province is Meditations. I haven't seen the deck list, but either of those would be pretty bad to hit, and he wouldn't win the conflict without buffs against the Yojimbo anyway. Then again, he still has 6 cards in hand, so he might have a Banzai plus a Sword or a Legion of 1 or something like that, and try to get another break, or at least win. Yeah, he does go for it, and he goes for the meditation, so he does not care about keeping this Keeper Initiate around. He might be planning to just win a Fire Ring next turn and get him back. And it's the Earth Ring as well, which had no fate on it, so he must be expecting to win this conflict. He plays Legion of Wands, which he can only do once, unfortunately, because the fate's already gone. It was a good move by JDsauce to use the meditations immediately in case of Legion of 1. So we see it giving +3, making it 4 to 3 now. Let's see if he has anything else. GoblinGuide has managed to reveal 4 provinces already, so the remaining Miyamoto's Fury in JDsauce deck can only be used on characters with 0 or 1 glory. Oh, and we see him discard 1 to favorite niece, which explains why there's 2 in a discard. GoblinGuide wins the Earth Ring and hits a Fate Worse Than Death, which JDsauce is not happy about. Fate Worse Than Death really turned out to be a very powerful Scorpion card, and discarding it with the Earth Ring is always a good feeling. So on board with a Yojimbo and Hiroe, it seems like Scorpion is doing just fine against these 2 quite weak characters, but he does have 2 of his provinces broken and is 2 Fate behind, so he does have some ground to make up. GoblinGuide keeps the Spirit Caller, but there's still no large characters discarded, so I wonder if he will just buy it now and start using it on small guys, or try to keep it around still. He does go for it. 3 Fate on Kitsu Spirit Caller. And GoblinGuide does not take the pass. He plays Ikoma Prodigy with 1, which gains him an honor, tying them at 7. I wonder if JDsauce will steal the passing Fate here. He would be quite behind on board, and he already has 7 Fate, so I'm not sure if it's a good move or not. If he does not pass now, then GoblinGuide will certainly take the passing Fate. Yeah, he does choose to play the Soshi, and now he can play the Rumor Monger as well if he likes. I feel like choosing when to pass for the passing Fate in Dynasty is a thing that took quite a long time to figure out, and for a while Scorpions were just passing left and right with empty boards or maybe 1 character, and I think arguably they might have overdone it for a bit, but yeah, in this situation I think it was the right choice for JDsauce not to take the pass, but to get 2 more characters. Yeah, because going from 7 Fate to 8 Fate is not that big of a deal. We see a bit of 2 from Scorpion and 4 from Lion, so down to 5 honor for GoblinGuide. This historian will definitely not be able to use its action. So maybe being down 2 breaks, JDsauce figures that his path to victory is dishonor and not breaking the stronghold. So GoblinGuide is first player here, and ideally he would like to get another break, but I'm not sure if he can really, because he just has a dash 1, a 1 dash, and then this 0-2 prodigy, and the spirit cooler cannot really get anything impressive out. Just a 2-1 really. It might be better to just use the spirit cooler for its stats, because on top of its amazing action, it is also a 1-3 for some reason. We see another sneak stealing a fate, and both of them go for meditations. So this fate will just get removed, I guess. But after the stronghold, he will be attacking for 4. It's not quite breaking because of the favorable ground. Let's see what JDsauce decides to do. He can always use the Soshi if a break is happening. So he might be tempted to declare no defenders here, or if he wants to be safe and make sure that it doesn't break, he should probably defend with either the Rumor Monger or the Yojimbo. Take a minute to think about it. So with 9 cards, it's quite likely that GoblinGuide has a bonsai. We haven't seen any yet. I'm not sure if he plays them. He might have cut them for Legion of One. Let me get his deck list. He plays 2 bonsai, and 3 times a Legion of One. So having drawn 22 cards, it's quite likely that he has a bonsai, so that would take him to 8. Which would still be breaking even with the Yojimbo defending. So she does defend, and JD passes, interestingly. This is the first conflict, so maybe he wants to save meditations for the other conflict. And he thinks taking Fate of a Goblin Sneak is not that impactful, and he would rather take it off the Prodigy. Or maybe he's just forgetting. So we see a Spirit Caller get the Gifted Tactician, and then Stronghold to go up to 7 against 3. Which is not a break, thanks to the favorable ground. So GoblinGuide takes air, goes up to 7 honor. But he was not able to get a break, so he must not have a bonsai, I think. He plays one fine katana as well. So now Hiroe will come in. Looks like he's going for a new province, which will be the Art of War. So JDsauce has to choose now if he wants to break this or not, because breaking it would give GoblinGuide 3 cards. Um, but it is a break, which is nice, even though it's the first one. He's attacking for 4, so, and he does pull in the Historian, so it looks like he does want to break it. Otherwise, he could just pull in the Ikoma Prodigy and be up only 2. This is a fire ring contest, which seems smart, because if he wins this, then he denies Lion the ability to win fire and get his 2 keeper initiates out. Oh, he actually is not breaking because of the favor, so it's 4 to 2. I wonder why he put the Historian then and not the Prodigy. I suppose he has used Meditation, so if the Prodigy wants to attack, then she has to either give him Secret Cash or lose her Fate. And Fury comes out to bow Hiroe. He moves in the Rumor Monger, so because of the 2 keeper initiates, this is an important conflict to win. It's 2 to 2 now. I wonder if GoblinGuide has anything else he can do. All of his Ornate Fans are used. He has 1 court games left in his deck. Beyond that, he plays only 1 Assassination, which is used. So I don't know if there's many cards left that could win this conflict for him. Even if he does play something like an Ageless Crone, then I think the Soshi will just come in to give -2/-2 to one of them. Yeah, so they both pass, and the Historian gets dishonored because she was pulled in and then lost. And with the firing, he dishonors the prodigy, so I can only assume this is partly because he still wants to try and take GoblinGuide down to 0 honor. Let's see if he wants to attack with the prodigy. So presumably the meditations was not used on purpose in order to dissuade GoblinGuide from attacking with his prodigy. And he does pass his conflict. So that's probably that for this conflict phase. So no third break for GoblinGuide, and there's still nothing too juicy in the discard pile for that Spirit Caller. And he flips now Mia Satoshi, Akoru Toturi, and 2 holdings. I wonder what he will do with that. Well, on the Scorpion side, there's an actress, shouju, a liar, and a second rumor monger. So if he chooses to play the actress, he could get a historian or some military stats, basically. I wonder if we will see shouju get out. I think a lot of the time the Scorpions kind of want to save Fate for the conflict phase to use for their either conflict characters or Fate Worse Than Death, which are expensive cards. But he does buy shouju, leaving him on 1 Fate, so going for a heavy investment in the board here. And now GoblinGuide, I imagine he will buy one of his characters. He could just pass now to steal the Fate, but I don't think there's much in his deck to spend 9 Fate on. So then the question is, do you want Mii Satoshi or do you want Akoru Toturi? He already has the Palace for favor, and unfortunately for Lion, Ikoma Ujaki is himself not an Imperial character, so he can't be searched for with Mii Satoshi. Unlike his rival in Crane, Kakita Yoshi, who does have the Imperial trait. So this Satoshi would just find a duplicate of himself, most likely. I believe there's 2 storehouses gone already as well. Yeah, so he would most likely find duplicates, but he would fill the discard very nicely for the Spirit Caller. He might get Mii Satoshi just for that reason. And he does get him with 1 Fate. So I think he expects almost to get a duplicate. Another nice thing is that the card that is revealed by Mii Satoshi replaces one of the provinces. So regardless of what he gets, he can always discard the Toturi to be Spirit Called in on this turn. Wow, first card is an Imperial and it's a Implacable Magistrate. Which, oh, he puts in the space of a face down card and discards a Spirit Caller. Not the Tuturi as I was expecting. Um, this might signal that he has a charge for the Tuturi instead. Because otherwise, I think it would just make a lot of sense to discard this Tuturi. He might be regretting the single fate on Miyazatoshi now. Because he did not hit the duplicate, and so a Void Ring would clear him off the board now. We see Scorpion bid 4 and Lion bid 2. And then the score box gets used, so it's 8 to 7 on honor. Still quite safe for both players. What Scorpion might try to do is pull someone in with Hiroe and then use Bayushi Shoujo to reduce their political skill and kill them if they reach 0. Which he could do on any of these characters in combination with Sinister Soshi. These 3 cards really work very well together. So I definitely think it was a smart idea of him to buy the Shoujo, even though it took almost all his fate. There's a favorable ground on the Lion side though, so I guess that plan won't work. Because straight after someone gets pulled in by Hiroe, they can just leave with favorable ground. And they will get dishonored at the end of the conflict, but that's a lot better than just getting killed by Mr. Shoujo. So we know that the last Lion province is Void, where he plays Pilgrimage, not Shameful Display. So Scorpion might be thinking they are winning by more than 5 anyway. Really, any character that stands in the way of this attack will just get killed, I think. See, no defenders and a pass. So presumably Hero will still pull someone in. He's attacking with skill 11, so he's really not at the risk of not breaking this pilgrimage, I don't think. And whoever gets pulled in kind of has to leave with favorable ground. But first, Cloud the Mind on the Spirit Caller. An excellent answer, but Lion is on Dragon Splash, so he might have let goes for it. I don't think he necessarily wanted to Spirit Call someone into this conflict. So he might hang on to the let go and just pass here, if he does have one. JDsauce probably considering who to pull in. I think I would go for Satoshi because the dishonor effect after Yogo Hiroe wins the conflict will be most impactful that way. I think that whoever's getting pulled is definitely going to run away, regardless. Though if it is Satoshi, then GoblinGuide may choose to pass at first, and force JDsauce to use his Sinister Soshi. Oh no, he plays it safe. He just goes home immediately with favorable ground. So I think that's that for this conflict. Yeah, so Satoshi gets dishonored, Pilgrimage is broken, and GoblinGuide discards Way of the Lion to the Earth Ring. He still has 11 cards though, so he's not doing too bad. I kind of expect just the GoblinGuide to come in, or the Goblin Sneak, I mean, to come in on a military here and then charge on Toturi. There is, I think, yeah, there is one Forged Edict left. So the charge could potentially get cancelled unless he has two of them. He hasn't used any, I don't think. He does go in with the Goblin Sneak at Meditations contesting the firing. So if he wins this, he's getting 2 Keeper Initiates. Let's see if the Rumor Monger wants to defend. He might do that if he has the Forged Edict for the charge. So if we do see the charge Taturi and no Edict, then the Meditations will probably break. And after those two keeper initiates plus double firing, the Scorpion Stronghold might be in danger of breaking this turn. We could see an attack with Spirit Caller, Satoshi, and then two initiates, and then he could honor Satoshi with his normal firing, and honor one of the keeper initiates with Toturi's firing. So that would be 4, 7, 9, 10 political coming in on the Stronghold. Let's see what Scorpion's Stronghold province is. It is Entrenched Position. So only 6 needed to break on political. JDsauce does not defend. Let's see if he has any action. He has his own charge, so he brings in Shizuru Actress for 1 military skill, and she could sacrifice herself to become at most 3 military with Matsubayona. Or I suppose he could steal a Spirit Caller and then Spirit Call something of his own. Isn't any great targets though. We do see the charge from line as well, bringing Toturi in, and there's no Forged Edict. So 7 to 1, Meditations is breaking. So even if he brings in a 3 skill character with that, it will still be breaking. So maybe he wants to save the actress and then get a Venerable Historian for the political defense later. And then she could honor herself, as the Scorpion is more honorable at this moment. We see For Shame come out, and GoblinGuide chooses to dishonor Toturi. That makes it 4 to 1, so not breaking anymore. Let's see if he has more cards. Alright, he uses box to go back to 6 to 1. And then a second For Shame forces Akodo Toturi to bow. Which makes it 2 to 1. I wonder if he will still use the actress to try and win this conflict. Losing this conflict would give GoblinGuide 2 firings and 2 keeper initiates. So it might be worthwhile to do everything you can to prevent that. Oh, he does have to let go for Cloud to Mind. So now the Spirit Caller is back in business and can get... I guess the safest choice is to get this Magistrate and then only this character and honored characters count their skill towards the resolution, which would almost guarantee him the win in this conflict. If JDsauce has another Cloud to Mind, I think he'll definitely play it here. Oh, he sacrifices the actress to get the implacable magistrate himself, preventing the spirit caller from doing the same. That's really clever. So now the spirit caller can not get the magistrate. The best he can probably do is Matsubayona for 3 skill. And then if the Scorpion has any kind of military buff, he will still win the conflict. I'm trying to get Rega and Luke to help me cast. Hello? Rega is here to co-cast. I think Luke is coming as well, right? Or right? Okay. Yeah, perfect. So he does bring back Matsubayori, making it 5-2. Yeah, welcome to this game, guys. It has been a good one from the start. Yeah, we saw some excellent Fury on your own guy action on turn 1, and it's been nothing but fun since then. So GoblinGuide does have the Bonsai to go back up to breaking after JDsauce uses the Soshi. Yeah, he might be afraid that the second attack will just kill his stronghold outright on this turn. So we see Fiery Madness giving -2, and then GoblinGuide passes, so he's out of gas after that, and he will narrowly miss the break on 5-2. But he does win, so we will get those 2 initiates and the 2 firings. Yeah, good point. We haven't seen any Lion Sprite Brawler this far out of the first uh, 17, I guess, Dynasty cards. So it's bound to see one soon. Yeah, so he'll go to 4 at the end of this round, it seems, which I think should be enough to be safe for at least 1 or 2 more rounds. Right, let me check. Hello guys, can you hear Rega and Luke now?
Hi, this is Doji Luke.
Rega.
Alright, excellent. Yeah, sorry about that. I was not really prepared to stream, but the game came up suddenly. So we should be good now. We see the rumor monger coming in on military at Art of War, trying to void off um, maybe the keeper, but GoblinGuide does defend it, so no one is getting voided today.
I think that does make it a little harder for GoblinGuide to break the meditations this round. In fact, I think it makes it pretty much out of the question. He'd like to roll over his Satoshi into next round. Yeah.
Do you think we might see him go for the secret cache instead, just to save the fate and give him a card?
I'd actually... Oh, wow. Okay, so he is going for the secret cache to preserve his next turn board state, and he's also swinging with all available. This is fairly safe. He does have the Imperial Palace, and there are no more conflicts. So yeah, he could... Oh, having second thoughts here.
Yeah, I definitely think that this is as safe of a time as any to attack Secret Cache, given the fate total of JDsauce.
He might be afraid that just one card from JDsauce would stop the break. And he does not have many political buffs left himself.
I think just standing here is defensible. Alternatively, you could just throw the Prodigy at Meditations for an Air Ring, and let him play cards if he wants to. Or the Water Ring for the Fate.
Yeah, I think it makes sense to do some kind of attack. He's getting
Those
the
are both
favor
very strong
anyways.
options.
Okay, he's trying for the break. That's what this means to me. And he does not want to give that 1 card out of 5 to JDsauce, and I think that's good. You definitely don't want to go for the break and let JDsauce see 5 cards to potentially stop it in the same attack.
I think the risk here, though, is has the Sinister Soshi been used this turn yet?
I think it was to prevent the break on the military conflict.
Yeah, it was used earlier.
Okay, Goblin Guide going for air, which is important. He will be down to 2 at the end of the round with the current board state showing. If he gets the break, I think this is fine. He'll be at 4 honor with going firstiness going into the stronghold.
See, court games just for one dishonor. It's still breaking, so I wonder if he has anything else.
Nope, nothing else. This is really dangerous for JDsauce. He's not running Rally to the Cause, so Goblin Guide can just throw military at his stronghold first conflict.
So if you're Goblin Guide, do you just toss the palace and do everything you can to see either Ujaki or a Line Sprite Brawler?
Yeah, I would throw away the palace here.
Let's see, I'm assuming he plays 3 Brawlers. And then, yeah, there's 2 Ujakis in the deck as well, which we haven't seen.
Yeah, he does throw the palace. JDsauce keeps the Liar. Liar's a great card, but it's not what you want to stop. Okay, yeah, I am going to call it here and eat my foot if I'm wrong.
Yeah, that is one of the best flips he could hope for. 2 Brawlers and even a 1-cost Matsu Berserker for another 3 stats. And on the Scorpion side, there is just the Soshi really to help, which I agree it probably won't be enough. And he is going for it. LPB with 0 Fate.
LPB with 0 Fate, at least the first one, is what you would do anyway because of the Spirit Caller, or at least I would, in order to really just pressure things. But yeah, now he's certainly just going all in. Second LPB with no Fate. We'll see the Matsu Berserker as well.
Yeah, and this is a very, very strong. I mean, this is the exact position Line always wants to be in, right? Going first with a huge board at their box with your box.
At their box, which is not Rally. That makes it so much easier. Because even though you need a huge lead, you're Lion. And that's what you're looking to do anyway.
Yeah, I suppose if it was Rally, then he could just do a tiny attack first. But it does help that he can just go for it.
And look, he throwing away the palace was justified here. Opponent flipping his own palace. I mean, you weren't really looking to tie. You want to just blow it up. And he used all 4 provinces.
Do you think we'll see 1 bits here? Or would you go super hard and just bid 2 or 3 if you were either player?
Both players are at 4. I'm up 3 cards as Goblin Guide. Pretty risk. I mean, I think they'll take their time to think, although Goblin Guide didn't. He's already decided what he's doing.
I think if I'm Goblin Guide, I definitely bid. I slam either 1 or 2, but I might go 1 here in anticipation of JDsauce going like 4 or 5. Because if JDsauce goes 4 and you go 1, then you can kill him on just by winning the ring.
Yeah, JDsauce goes 2, and he'll get the free Stronghold trigger now. I might have bid 2 for Goblin Guide, just so that didn't happen. Ooh, this is nice.
Ooh, yeah. Aegis Crone and a Toturi in the bin to be called from Spirit Caller. Yeah, that's GG. JDsauce just says GG.
Yeah, he does
So
concede GG.
we now know our first player in the finals is Goblin Guide. So we will not be having a Scorpion versus Scorpion final to Season 3.
Yeah, that's excellent news. I think we're all happy about that. So are you going to cast the other games right now, or is it still a bit before the other semifinal and the finals?
I'm not sure what Rega is planning. I think that I'll go check the channels. I believe that the other semifinal is going to start in an hour.
All right, excellent.
Yeah, it's wide win versus Sir Large Dis. Yeah, and that should be streamed in about an hour.
That should be a good one. It is Scorpion versus Scorpion, but we have the Season 2 winner going against the, which Kote was it, that largeness one?
South, and it's also a rematch of last season's final.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It should be very high level play and very technical with the Scorpion versus Scorpion matchup.
Yeah, that would be fun. Thank you for joining me for the last bit of this game, guys. And thank you for
Well,
watching,
thanks for
everyone.
having us. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
I'll close the stream now. See you around in an hour then.